What's up, everybody? It is Dankamyouknow, and I am back with another video. And what we're going to be doing today is I'm going to show you how to remove the back panel from an HP Omen 25L and 30L. And I want to keep this video as short as possible, so let's just go ahead and let's get into it. Alright, so the first thing you're going to do is unhook all of the cables from the back of your PC. And I'm going to go ahead and unhook the power supply cable, my audio in, and my two monitor cables, and all the rest. Then we're going to press the internal access button on the back and remove the front panel side cover. And then on my machine, I have two fans at the bottom, a 120mm and an 80mm. And those are actually just sitting freely at the bottom, no adhesive or anything. So I'm just going to remove those because I'm going to be laying the PC down and I don't want them to fall out. And I'm just going to kind of tuck the cables for them back a little bit. And then while you've got your PC open, it's always a good idea to get a microfiber or some compressed air and just kind of clean out some of the dust that you see in the PC. So here I am cleaning out the little dust rings that you see at the bottom. And now you're going to locate the screw that is at the bottom. And that's what holds the back panel in. So we're going to get a Phillips head #1 screwdriver. And we're just going to carefully remove this screw. And it's a very small screw. So just put a little bit of pressure when you're unscrewing it to make sure you do not strip it. And then once you get it out, just put it in a safe place because, like I said, the screw is tiny. And now we're going to lay the PC down on the front part of it, we'll call it. And I put it on my mouse mat just so it's protected. And now what we're going to do is we're going to get the side panel off. And what I do is I brace the PC with my left hand. And I just lay my hand flat on the back panel and I press it forward. And it only needs to go about 10mm back. And here's an alternate view. So you brace it with your left hand so the computer doesn't move and lay your hand flat. And then sometimes it doesn't go on the first try, but you just press it back about 10mm and you don't have to apply a ton of force, but it should come. And the bottom just hooks in. So you just kind of lift up on the front and take away the panel. And behind here, there's not a whole lot of room to store cables, but you'll see I've stashed the HP round fan cable that comes on a lot of Omens that's not used on my machine. I get a lot of questions about that, and it's usually dangling at the top, and people are afraid that something's not plugged in on their PC. So you'll notice on the bottom of the case, there's this thin strip of metal, and that's actually where the bottom of the case slides into. And then at the top, there's these little notches where the back panel notches into. So you see these are the hooks that slide into that little thin piece of metal. Then on this side, it has these little protruding little metal pieces that hook into the notched part on the case. So let's go ahead and get this back on. So first you're going to go ahead and you're going to get these hooks on the bottom. And you got to make sure this is sitting in the right spot, about 10 to 15mm back. And you can see on my first go, I don't have it positioned perfectly. And you'll notice at the top of the case that it's not sitting super flush. So I try to get it in and I push it and it just doesn't go in cleanly. So I push it back out. And you'll see right there, I get it. And just apply a little bit of pressure to slide it back in. And you can see that the top is sitting flush now. And a good way to know that you're sitting perfectly flush on the back panel is this screw hole will be perfectly lined up. So if you're a little bit off, that screw hole will not be lined up. And we're just going to put the tiny screw back in. You're just going to apply a little bit of pressure and just make sure it's hand tight once you're done. It doesn't have to be super tight. The back panel will stay in place. Got it good and tight. I put my fans back in, and the next thing you're going to do is just hook up all of your cables and turn on the PC and just make sure everything's working right. Well, that's going to do it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope it was informative. And like always, if you have any questions or concerns, to please comment down below. And with the back panel removed, there really isn't a ton of space to do any kind of cable management. I was thinking of hiding some power supply cables back there, but there really just isn't enough room. And it would have been really nice if HP would have left like a hole of some sort to access the stock CPU cooler bracket. But of course they didn't make it easy on us, so it is what it is. But there is a video on how to remove the back panel, and thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see y'all in the next video.